Let's move on now. Okay, well, I definitely wanted to talk about this. My friends, we got some exciting and yet confusing news into the DCU. Blue Beetle is back, my friends. Let's see here. We had, this kind of shocked me. I was on my way to go get some lunch, and then we got the report saying a Blue Beetle animated series is in the works. This will serve as some sort of continuation of the movie. Okay, lot to talk about here. Blue Beetle was a really great movie. It wasn't the best comic book movie out there. It didn't change the genre, but I thought it was a wholesome movie. It was very entertaining. It had the spirit of like that original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. And it really also hit me on a personal note, being the Mexican household in life. Like so many things in that movie I connected to and related to. I know not everybody will, but I really loved it. And so whenever we heard the reboot in the DCU, I'm like, please bring back Jaime Reyes. Bring back Solo Maridueña. And James Gunn said, yeah, he's going to come back, but his movie, I don't think we're going to keep that canon. We'll probably do something new. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. At least you're keeping Blue Beetle in the DCU, and he's played by Solo Maridueña, so I'll be happy with that. But I was not expecting them to do an animated series. Now, let's get into the details about this, because it is kind of confusing. And James Gunn, dude, I love you, dude, and I'm looking forward to your DC universe, but bro, you are going about it the weirdest way possible. So let's go into the details about what this is. So for one, we do have the original director of that Blue Beetle movie coming back as executive producer, but he's not going to be the showrunner. This is kind of the plot that we have right now, which is kind of making me a little like, what? So many things are still in flux, including contracts for many cast. However, multiple have been approached, and DC has received a positive response regarding returns. Deadline understands the animated series will build on the movie developed under DC Studios' previous regime, but will divert from telling the same story. Instead, the show will create its own story, which in success could potentially lead to a return to the big screen for giant blue bug portrayed by Solo Maridueña, I hear. Okay, a lot to dive into with that comment, but what I essentially got from those words is that this animated series is basically a reboot of what happened in the movie. So this is kind of the thing James Gunn has been talking about, and he made it very clear. Anything before Creature Commandos or his new Superman movie is not canon with the DCU, even if some characters from the old universe are still in his universe. Point taken here. James Gunn said this today about Peacemaker. Let's see here. Pull it up. And I was like, dude, what the heck is going on here? James Gunn said, I better find it, dude. If I don't, I'm going to be so pissed. Wait, when I can't find stuff, dude, I should just have it on the fly. Okay. Here, I'll pull it up. Is it this one? No. Oh my God, I'm going to have to cut all this out. Okay. Whatever. I just go. Did I put it? I'll put it on my thing. I did. Okay, here it is. Sorry. My bad, guys. So I'll cut that in editing. But anyways, here. He said here, yes, Peacemaker takes place after Superman. And then someone said, including season 1? Season 1 isn't canon. But no. Even James Gunn's own stuff and material is not connected to the DCU. So although we're getting a season 2 of Peacemaker, season 1 is not canon. And so that original Blue Beetle movie, although Solo Maridueña will still play him in live action, that first Blue Beetle movie is not canon to his DCU. So I'm thinking this animated show is working as a reboot where it's going to tell a similar story to that first Blue Beetle movie, but like they said here, it will not be the same story. It won't be the same story. It's going to be a similar story that, like, maybe his dad still dies. He still faces off Apex, but they're going to tweak things so that maybe they have more comic book faithful characters. Because one thing that was missing from Blue Beetle movie is his supporting cast. He had 2 friends in the comic books that were not part of the movie, like Paco. Paco was one of them, and he had another friend. They're important characters into the Blue Beetle world. They were not included in the movie. James Gunn could possibly add them into his new universe. All the the Ted Kord stuff, because Ted Kord was a big part of that Blue Beetle film. He can make more concrete connections to Ted Kord and Blue Beetle that sets up Booster Gold, because we know Booster Gold is supposed to be one of the shows that they're doing, and it's rumored that Booster Gold will have live action Blue Beetle come back in there. So I'm thinking that's what they're going to do. In a weird way, this Blue Beetle animated series is basically what we thought Spider-Man freshman year was going to be. You remember all that stuff with Spider-Man freshman year? Let's see here. Osborn. Where it's basically going to retell the events of the MCU's Tom Holland, Peter Parker, where like this scene is, Tony Stark, but instead it's Norman Osborn. That's kind of what they're doing with this Blue Beetle animated show, is that it's just going to be similar to the movie, redoing it, but they're going to tweak things so it properly sets Blue Beetle up for James Gunn's vision. Because like this article says, this show, although it's animated, it will lead to him having a live action appearance again. 2 places he could have the live action appearance. One is the Booster Gold series, which is currently being developed right now, and the updates are coming. I'm thinking he's going to show up in there, especially with Ted Kord and that mystery. And the other one is the Teen Titans movie. They said that they're working on a Teen Titans film. It's been reported on. Blue Beetle's definitely going to be a Teen Titans member. So that's 2 spots. We're not getting a Blue Beetle sequel or anything like that. It just did not make enough money in the box office, which sucks. But also, when James Gunn announces a new universe and the last one is dead, why would people even show up to go see it, right? I don't know, man. Part of me is okay with it because I know James Gunn has already talked about people in the animated stuff are going to cross over and vice versa. They're already doing that with Frank Grillo, because he's going to be in Peacemaker Season 2. He's playing Rick Flag's dad, and he's also in Creature Commandos. He's the voice actor and the live-action guy. So that's just something James Gunn is doing. Whether it's video games, animated, or live-action movies, they can all cross within each other, and that's the beauty of the DCU, right? But you got to admit, how freaking confusing, man. Like, dude, what the heck is going on? He's just... Peacemaker Season 1, not canon, but we're going to make a Season 2 that is canon. We're going to redo events of Blue Beetle, but it's going to be animated, but he'll also show up in live action. Dude, this is like Phase 4, Phase 5 type of stuff, and this is still Phase 1 of the DCU. I'm going to let James Gunn cook. I'm excited for this universe, but dude, imagine if the MCU started this way. How odd would that have been? How confusing. And I saw some people mention, it's not that confusing. You're just a nerd. And that's probably true, right? It's only us nerds that care this much about the timeline. Think about the average person. The average person is going to think that live-action Blue Beetle movie is connected to Booster Gold or to Teen Titan movie, because they're like, oh, that's that blue dude who was next to George Lopez. I like that movie. Then Teen Titans? Okay, I'll check it out. That's what they're going to think, and there's just going to be nerds like us going through the timeline like, okay, this doesn't make sense, James Gunn. You need to tweet him. Let's see if he responds, because this isn't making sense. And he'll respond, because that's what James Gunn does. So we'll see, man. I'm just happy more Blue Beetles coming. I like Solo Maridueña. I loved the live-action movie, and this live-action suit, one of the best live-action DCU suits, it's going to be animated. I can't wait to see. Is it 3D animated, 2D animated? How stylistic is it going to be? Well, who knows? So there we go. And yeah, I agree. I hope they continue the Ted Kord story. That's definitely got to be something they touch upon here. So yeah. Oh, someone said, 3C, I graduated from middle school today. Congrats! Go on to high school and have your life ruined. No, you're going to have fun in high school, man. Go have fun. Okay, let's move on now.